Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our Rule Daily Chanting Meditation with Dr. Pillai and the Pillai Center team, as well as everyone who is gathering from around the world to participate in bringing in more peace and light during this holiday season. So happy holidays. We're coming to a close of this year, 2020, and it's been an adventure with COVID winding down or maybe winding up into a new reality for us. And how we're going to navigate it is to keep grabbing onto the light. So it's Sunday, December 27th, 2020. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome, especially those of you who are new to Dr. Pillai's teachings. It's always a fabulous adventure, and we're so happy that you're joining us. So without further ado, we're going to get into a state of receptivity where we will align our chakras that are stacked up on top of one another in our subtle body, the spine of our subtle body that corresponds with the spinal column of our physical body, so our backbone. So these psycho-spiritual centers, these energy centers are stacked up on top of one another, starting at the base of the spine, at the tailbone area, and then working our way up through the navel center, through the heart center, through the throat center, and the middle of the brain, the third eye. And then we are going to experience a piercing of a ray of light shooting up and piercing those energy centers to activate them. That's the Kundalini energy. That's the holy breath or the Holy Spirit, as Dr. Pillai shares with us. So we want to focus on that ray of light inside of us that is our soul's intelligence. It's going to unlock the secret of our soul, which is omniscience, omnipotent, and omnipresent. It just needs to wake up and grow and expand. And as it does, our consciousness will expand. So we're going to grab onto some light with a rule. The consciousness that gives you omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence, meaning that you're all-knowing, you can connect with God consciousness everywhere, and you are powerful or empowered, let's say, to start with, because that can be a little overwhelming for some of us. So we want to be aligned with the divine. So we'll have a spiritual Wi-Fi connection or a divine Wi-Fi connection with the support of Dr. Pillai. And then the group energy here. So as people are joining, we will feel this energy growing or expanding, or we may even feel like we're vibrating with this Arul consciousness. It's merciful. It's compassionate. It is the one that helps us to forgive and forget. Why would we want to do that? Well, we want to move forward. We want to have more peace, more light. So how can we hold on to that which we haven't forgotten about? So forgiveness is for giving forward. We want to give the energy, give God consciousness to all. We want to respect everyone. We're all experiencing this pain and suffering of the world as we live in. It doesn't matter what lifetime we come into the earth plane or how evolved we are. This is the plane where we can experience the pain and suffering of humanity on an individual level and also on a collective level worldwide. So worldwide, we're going through pandemic. It's not only a virus that is impacting our health and well-being, it's also impacting our social ability. So the social scene has decreased. We can't connect with our family members. We feel isolated. We can't go to schools or colleges if you're doing that, or even to your workplace. You can, we have to abide by different rules that are creating that sense of loss of freedom. Oh my God, how do we experience peace when we're feeling so pulled to do something that we're so not used to? So that's what happens when the world is going to do what the world is going to do, and it can impact us emotionally, spiritually, politically. Our spiritual path can be challenged because we're thinking, well, what the heck? What's the whole point of living? What's the purpose of life now? And we're experiencing or seeing that the suicide rates have gone up, depression has gone up. So we really need to bring in light and love and super consciousness, mercy, compassion for our fellow human being. So with that, we all will get into a state of receptivity. We're going to listen to Dr. Pillai chanting. I'll be putting the screen or the video in front. The camera is going to be facing the altar behind me. You'll see just behind me is Swami Ramalingam, and he is the being who turned his body into light. He was so compassionate. He's in the contemporary times, 1874, he turned his body into light. And that happens to be Dr. Pillai's previous lifetime. So he brought this Arul consciousness to the earth plane so we could experience that knowledge, that awakening inside of us. And Dr. Pillai is giving us the keys to unlock the secret of that consciousness. So you can be merging with the light. The ghee lamps are behind me, and you may be drawn to one or drawn to all three, or maybe you'll keep your eyes closed for the whole time that we're chanting and meditating together. Maybe you'll open it every now and then and reconnect with Dr. Pillai or the image of Swami Ramalingam. The yantra behind me has sacred words inscribed on it that also explain the light body. So why would we want to have a light body? That's kind of ghostly, right? Well, the light body means that we're vibrating at a higher intelligence. We'll be here on the earth plane. Well, it will seem as if we are in this physical form, but we'll have the ability to remove suffering, not only inside of ourselves, but also to create that energy that's flowing out into the space around us, into the people around us. And we won't even know, because it will be a divine birthright for all of us to experience. And once we let go of that and allow God's will to come through, then we will know, hey, definitely it's beyond me, beyond my intelligence, beyond my ability, but I kind of like it. So that's what we want to experience: some joy, some happiness, some peace, some light, some more intelligence coming in, and get us out of our funky state, especially during this holiday season where maybe it wasn't just the season to be full of joy and light and jolly. It was kind of challenging, as we've heard from some people. So please feel free to say hello and where you're from on the chat, and also set your intention, set your prayer for this practice. Anytime we do a practice, a meditation or a mantra practice with Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings, then it's like sending a text message directly to the heavenly realms, to the divine, and saying, hey, we need help now. I can't wait anymore. I can't wait till the end of the year. I can't wait till COVID is over. I'm tired of waiting. So we kind of have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of waiting. So we want to ask the divine to come in and bless us. Set your intention for what it is that you want help with. Set your prayer, and then we will let it all go and just immerse in the meditation, the mantra practice, after we get aligned with the divine. So without further ado, we see there are many more people joining. Thank you so much for being here and creating this beautiful space for everyone to enjoy more energy than they would be able to do on their own, chanting or meditating at an individual level. All right, so let's go. And let's have an amazing journey. God bless. So I'm just going to be moving out of the camera, and you're going to be seeing the images there. I'll turn the lights down. So you can be just connecting now with the images of Swami Ramalingam, then the sacred prayer in the middle on a yantra, and also Dr. Pillai. There will be spiritual energy that will come through these images. And for now, we will wake up our psycho-spiritual centers, our chakras, and also turn on the light inside of us, connect with that ray of light that activates all of these chakras. So closing your eyes, putting your attention internally, we'll call on Ganesha to remove the obstacles for this practice to be a success for us. We need to experience the joy and the happiness, the peace, the light, not just talk about it or hope it all works out. So imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs, into your feet, into your toes, grounding you with this reddish orangish light, removing or diffusing the stuck energy. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now, visualize a ray of light or imagine it shooting up from the base of the spine, piercing all the chakras on the way up. This ray of light pierces the top of the skull and goes up, up, up into the space, sending out a divine SOS, a plea to the spiritual realms to bring in healing energy that you can connect with through this ray of light, Shushumna in Sanskrit. Feel the chakras coming alive as we begin to awaken them, starting at the base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Move up to the middle of the brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine, also the legs. Connect with the earth element. Stabilize your practice. Na, 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 na. Move in to the belly, the navel. Fill it with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest, also down the arms and hands. Set them on fire. She, 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 she. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or prana, the subtle air. Va, 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 va. Now move up to the eyes. Keep the eyeballs still, steady. Right and left brain. Connect with the ether, the Akash. Ya, 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 ya. Now, imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a light, a vast light, brilliant like millions of suns, radiating towards you, piercing all the pores of your skin from head to toe. Receive the light, embrace the light. Like a sponge, soak it up into your body. Fill it with light. Two beams of light enter your eyeballs, piercing them, filling the eyes with light. Two beams of light enter your ears, piercing your eardrums, filling the inside of your head with light. Two beams of light shoot up either nostril. A beam of light enters the mouth, pierces the tongue. The tip of the tongue lights up, the middle of the tongue, the back of the tongue, and the throat. Fill the throat with light. A beam of light enters your forehead, piercing the pituitary, going into the middle of the brain, the pineal gland, the third eye. Fills with light. A light enters the top of your skull from above, piercing it, enlivening all the neurons in your brain. The nerve cells in your brain are firing. Feel the bioelectricity lighting up your brain, lighting up your body. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now imagine Swami Ramalingam appearing before you in a light, awakening Arul consciousness inside of you. Om Swami Ramalingaya Namaha. Om Swami Ramalingaya Namaha. Om Swami Ramalingaya Namaha. Now focus on your left nostril. Breathe in and up. Hold. And release the breath. Keep the attention on the left nostril. Activate the pituitary, the pineal, in the forehead. Activate the right brain with your attention. Breathe in through the right nostril. Hold. And release it. Keep your attention on your forehead. Activate the pituitary, the pineal, the left brain with your attention. Breathe in both the nostrils up. Hold. Activate the pituitary pineal. The brain lights up. And release, keeping your attention in the third eye. Enjoy your practice.
Close your eyes and listen to this sound. Now put this sound on different sense organs, particularly the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the brain. Now put this sound on your right eye. Embrace bliss, embrace joy, embrace happiness. This sound also will generate light, very bright light, like the sunlight. So imagine your body is full of light. Go to the left eye. Also receive the light. The whole body is filled with light. The 2 years. The tongue. Over the tongue. From the throat, the tonsils area. Inside the brain. Now put this sound on your right eye. Embrace bliss, embrace joy, embrace happiness. Go to the left eye. Imagine your body is full of light. The 2 years. Receive the light. The tongue. Receive the light. Over the tongue. Arum, Arum, Arum. On the throat, the tonsils area. Arum, 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 Arum. Inside the brain. Arum, 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 Arum. Imagine your body is full of light. Arum, 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 Arum. Your body is full of light. Arum, 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 Arum. Don't allow any other thought, just this chanting. Will, will, will. The whole body is vibrating with the sounds. Will. On the right eye. Will. Will. Left eye. Will. 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 The 2 years. Will. 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 The 2 nostrils. Will. 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 Inside the brain. Will. 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 Spin the sound inside the brain. Arul, 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 arul. Will. On the right eye, receive the light. Left, right, receive the light. The 2 ears, receive the light. The 2 nostrils, receive the light. Inside the brain, receive the light. Spin the sound inside the brain. Spin the sound. Arul, 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 Au. the right eye. Will. Will. Left, right. Will. Will. The 2 years. Will. The 2 nostrils. Inside the brain. Spin the sound. Arul, 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 arul. Will. Spin the sound. Arul, 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 arul. Will. embrace bliss. Embrace joy. Embrace happiness. Now, slowly, come back to this.
Take your time to just let go. Release anything that has bubbled up to the surface. Move your body around. Maybe do some gentle stretching, some yawning, to allow the energy that has come in to expand, make room for it. Take notice whether you experience some heat or tingling or expansion, pressure, release of anything on the physical level as well as the emotional or mental level. Maybe you feel lighter or uplifted or hopeful. Maybe some negative congested energy is bubbling up and you're teary-eyed. Just know that the divine is guiding you to take a look at that and keep working towards bringing more light, more peace into your life through Arul, the practice and also your prayers. And as you're coming up and noticing the shifts, maybe you have more energy. You can make a prayer to Dr. Pillai, to Swami Ramalingam, to Arul consciousness, to everyone here, collectively creating a beautiful space of light and love and peace. A little oasis for everyone to experience a time out from all the agitation going on at this time of the year. And make a prayer for those who need it the most. So slowly come back. And as you're coming back, we'll turn the light on. And then can pop your experiences onto the chat if you'd like, or the questions that you have. And this part of the call is for answering questions, sharing experiences. So now that we're back, and there we go. Great. So people are already posting notes on the chat. That's great. Judy Angle, Byrve is saying, I feel lighter, as if some old unwanted energies have lifted, more peaceful. Yay! So that's what we want to do, is we want to experience some peace, some joy, some upliftment, because it's been a rough year for a lot of people. Although people who have been studying with Dr. Pillai say it's been quite an easy, graceful year, relatively speaking. So we're under the protection of the spiritual master, Dr. Pillai, who always gives us the teaching of the moment. And it helps us to come through harms and hurdles, through ups and downs in our lives, keeps us steady. So this is what we're here to do, is keep cultivating that relationship with Dr. Pillai's teachings, and also to inspire others to join these free calls that we usually have for some days throughout each month. So please, if you're new to the teachings or relatively new, please stay tuned. And I'm sure that there will be another adventure that you can dive into and experience the growth and expansion of your consciousness in this group energy that we're creating. And then also to navigate your life through the ups and downs, and by tapping into this once a day, whether you're here live or you can watch the recording or listen to the recording afterwards. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and then you can learn about the different teachings. For example, why we're coming together is because this is the end of the year, and we want to experience something more profound and uplifting as we move into 2021. COVID is not going away. So what is our new normal? We don't even know. And what is normal anyways? So we want to be natural. We want to experience the divine, the grace, the light, the love, the super consciousness all the time. Never mind as the year goes out and we wait till the end of COVID. We don't know if it's going to end. Maybe it will never end. Maybe the lockdown will keep happening from time to time. So we can't be upset. The world is going to do what the world is going to do. And what we're going to do is keep staying focused on the goal, which is to bring more light, more lightness of being, more upliftment, more motivation to stick with our spiritual path. Because money is going to come and go. Relationships are going to come and go. The job is going to come and go, or the business is going to come and go. We can't stop it. We can't prevent it. We all know that now. Having gone through this year as a global community, it's pandemic. It's affecting every aspect of our lives, regardless of where you live. So no one has escaped it, and no one can. However, we can bring in divinity and experience that in life, that life inside of us that is the highest consciousness, this Arul consciousness, all-knowing. It's present everywhere, and it knows what to do, when to do it. So we don't have to think, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen. I feel so depressed because I don't know. I'm confused. I'm uncertain. Well, this is what the timing is. So we know what the game plan is, and we have to navigate this play of life. And if we look at it as an adventure in consciousness, then we will be in the right place at the right time, and we'll be thinking and saying and doing the right thing, bringing in healing energy, bringing in lightness, joy for no reason. I mean, joy is that. There's no reason to be joyous. However, as all the masters have shared, one of the greatest signs of your evolution is that you are joyful, you are happy, you are uplifted, even in the worst times. So Shilpa sharing here. Thank you very much for the wonderful session. Love and gratitude to Babaji. Thank you, Sutrija. Oh, you're very welcome, Shilpa. Sue is saying here, today my left foot felt like it was on fire. Hey, that's great. So the feet have tremendous chakras, and it makes sense. So these chakras are these power centers, even in reflexology or acupuncture. The meridians, these chakra points, these pressure points are where the energy gets stuck. So if your foot is on fire, get ready. You're going to hit the ground running. You're going to feel it unstick, because the fire is what represents that burning of the karma. So we're always wondering, well, how can I get rid of my karma? Well, this is a way, and you will feel it. You will experience it. So thanks for sharing, Sue. Faraz is saying, hi, Suchita, I was crazily attacked by low energies yesterday. Babaji has brought back stealth and life breath back into me. Om Praneshwaraya Swaha, and right now light back into me with the rule. Great. And that's what will happen. We'll be going along and we'll say, oh my goodness, why do I feel so funky? Why do I feel like I'm under attack? Why do I feel like the way you feel when it's supposed to be the season of happiness and joy and light and love and super consciousness? Every day is, but particularly now, this season, this holiday season, why do you feel so dark and attacked? And that's what happens when we're on our spiritual path. And that's how we know to keep going towards our spiritual practices, because that's like putting the light switch on. And then all those ghouls and goblins will be running away from the light. So it's great to hear, Faraz, you came out of it. And that's what we want to do. We want to turn it around so quickly. And that's what we do when we dive into a spiritual practice. And we know, oh my God, that is the path that I really want, because that's me. No one can negate what's going on inside of you. No one can say, oh, no, you're feeling okay. Why should you not feel okay? Look at all the stuff that you have going on in your life. You should be this. You should be that. It was like, oh my God, you don't know what's going on inside of me. I might have a smile on my face, but there's a lot going on. So the spiritual path is the inner path. And being able to manage and navigate your life with grace and ease is when you get empowered by the master. The master always knows what's going on at the level of the soul. And at the level of the soul, he or she will crank it up and say, go do this. And that will be quench your soul's thirst, or it will help you to, feed your soul. It's hungry for this knowledge. So instead of scrambling in the dark and being scared and worried or upset or anxious or uncertain, or just feeling like you're under attack, then you just keep going towards the light. Turn it on, and then that will satisfy your soul, and it will expand. It will radiate that energy out and burn up those dark forces. So Apply Center Practice, Radha is posted here in the bright yellow highlight, Apply Center Practice. You'll see the specials link to participate in the Shreem Brazil full moon fire ceremony that's coming up tomorrow, I believe it is. Or no, on the 29th, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the full moon, and that is going to be, you can participate free, but you have to sign up for it to get the link. And then if you want to donate any amount, you can, and then your name and your birth star will be spoken out loud by the Vedic specialist, Premaraja, for sponsoring this Fire Lab. And full moon Fire Labs are very, very powerful because they're all about creating abundance consciousness. And then you can experience the miracles afterwards. So however you want to participate, whether it's free or whether you want to sponsor it, a small amount is fine too, or any amount. It's always good to make sure that you check that box off your spiritual journey while you're here on the earth plane. Were you charitable? Check. Did you donate or tithe? Check. If you don't, like the masters have said, and in the scriptures, the sages will say, I have to come back again because I didn't do enough food feeding. I didn't do enough donation. I was spiritually evolved, but I didn't check everything off the spiritual checklist. And that's what we're here to do, is remind everyone. It's not about just being able to chant a mantra or meditate. You have to honor your ancestors. You got to feed people. You've got to be charitable with your time, your energy, your resources, and so on. So be charitable. This 'tis the season as well. Give to those who don't have a hope. So please consider that. And then the donation will go towards the Tripura Foundation. So Lulu is saying here, I now still feel something like air on the top of my head. Is that the light or energy? Great. Well, that can be, the prana is a subtle air. It's the life force. So once we get into the prana, the life force, the soul force, then we're going to feel it in the different parts of our body. And it's going to feel very strange because we haven't turned it on. So that's a good sign for you, Lulu. The intense heat during the meditation, almost sweating at one point. Was that the heat? Well, light is heat. Imagine millions of suns light. You can't even handle one sun in one galaxy. Imagine millions of suns. The light, the energy, that's the energy of and the intelligence of our soul. And we haven't even woken it up to one little ray of it. So you will feel the heat when you're doing this practice, especially with the group energy. Again, thanks everyone for joining, because even though we're here virtually and we're connecting through the internet or through Zoom or whatever it is, this is YouTube, right? This is YouTube. So even though we're connecting, through this means in which the divine is saying, hey, science and religion can come together. So we can have this experience as if we are together in one room and experiencing the divine energy coming in. You will feel the heat. You will feel the burning of your karmas or the enlivening of your chakras. So we don't want to just chant mantras. We don't want to just meditate. We want to feel it. We want to know it. So it sounds like you'd had an experience, Lulu. Keep going. Lots of thank yous to Babaji, of course. Shushmita saying, Sutrita, some of us work on our thoughts, like saying the right things, or some of us pray to correct our life, which is more powerful in correcting our life. Well, here's the thing. If you ask a higher consciousness to come in, whether that's a rule, mantra, or any of the mantras, those are beings. They're not just special sounds. They are like your name. If you're in a crowded room and someone calls out your name, you will just be like, whoa, that's my name. Even if there are 25 Marys in the room, all the Marys will turn, because that has an energy. It has a power. So the divine, when we call on that name, that is a high intelligence. It wakes up inside of us. It comes immediately to us and says, what do you want? It's already around us. It just needs a way in. So whether you are thinking you're saying the right things, or you're saying things and you hope that they're the right things, that really is just your karmic thought. Thoughts are just coming and going, and they're always going to doubt. They're always going to say who, what, where, when, why. They're going to always ask those questions. Am I doing it right? Am I thinking right? Am I saying it right? Have I said it wrong? So doubting it. So it's this crazy mosh pit, when in fact, you just go to that higher intelligence and it doesn't care what you're saying. It just wants to get into you. It wants to awaken consciousness, and then you will be in the right place at the right time, thinking and saying and doing the right thing. And how will you know? Because in any given moment in time, no matter what is happening, you will be saying the right thing. So you don't have to think too much. You just have to go through life and you do your daily activities, and you can think, okay, plan, this is what I need to do now. This is what I need to say when I'm in a meeting. And then the divine will just make it so sweet. So trust in your thoughts, the highest thoughts coming in, and don't worry about so much. Am I saying it right? Am I doing it right? That is just going to be creating more worry and anxiety. So when you do this Arul consciousness, you can practice journaling, and then see what you're thinking at the beginning, say 27 days ago, or whenever we started this, 21 days ago, maybe it was, because we're coming to the end. Tomorrow will be the last time we come together, and I'll be happy to close it up. So with everyone, not that I want to close the door, but this is a great practice that we've been doing. And I'm so happy when we complete something like this, and then people will share, my goodness, I kept a journal, or I wrote down my thoughts in the beginning, and who am I now? So don't really work too much, Shishmita, on your thoughts. You can pray and think good thoughts. However, allow the grace and the blessings of Arul consciousness to bring you into a higher state of being, such that whatever you say, you could be saying simply things like pass the butter, and it's so supercharged with all this divine grace and energy. People will be like, oh my God, I love you. That's so awesome. You just said pass the butter. And you'll be melting into ghee for the gods. So hopefully that answers your question, Sushmita. Angela is saying my cerebellum was pulsating and continues. So the cerebellum, for those people who aren't neuroanatomists, the cerebellum is the mini brain. It's in the back of the head. So if you tuck your hand underneath the back of your brain or back of your skull, that's the occipital part of your skull and area of the brain. And then when you tuck it underneath and close to the brainstem is the cerebellum. So it's known as the mini brain, meaning that it has more neurons packed in it than your whole rest of your cerebral cortex, all that big chunk, the mushroom shape of chunk of brain that sits on top of it. So it's really supercharged, and it is a coordinator of all the information coming in. And it happens that the divine sneaks in the back door, and it's kind of cool because that's where how we know we can't negate anything. We can't think about it. Our frontal lobe is what says yes, no, right, wrong, who, what, where, when, why. And we kind of analyze stuff and we rationalize stuff and we doubt things. We're uncertain. We got to prove it. Well, the divine says, no way. I'm going to just bypass all that. I'm going to come in the back door. So if it's coming in the cerebellum, Angela, it means that you're really experiencing that light and love of super consciousness coming in, that grace, the compassion, the mercy. And then let's see what happens in your life. Stephanie saying, in deep sorrow yesterday, thought it would last forever, but now I feel light, joyful, and energized. That's what it is. That's great. Naveen is saying, I understood that Dr. Pillai is guru. I had surrendered to him, connect to God and Holy Spirit, surrender completely. Awesome, Naveen. Bhairavi Judy Angle is saying, the PC office team in India will be coming into work in a couple of hours. Someone should assist you soon. Oh, I guess someone has posted a message up on the chat. Yeah, so the office, Apply Center, is actually stationed, as Bhairavi has mentioned, in India. So they have to have a day off on Sunday. So they'll be back tonight, Eastern Standard Time, around 11:30 is 10 a.m. their time. And that's when they open up the office. So thanks for your patience. And they'll get back to you. So Sue's, already heard about Sue's left foot. So we're at the bottom. I'm going to just scroll up to the top and see if I've missed out on anything. Oh, people from all around the world. Awesome. Lovely prayers. People are saying healing for all who are suffering from mental depression all around the world, or mental distress. So more grace, more gratitude, more love, more peace. So when we set that intention, it's not us saying it so much as the divine is saying, speak it, say it, write it. That's why journaling is really important, because sometimes we will, no, I don't think I could pray for that, or that's too big, that's beyond me. Put it in writing and do your spiritual practices, and you'll be surprised when you go back to it and you feel like, wow, I participated in something. I was moved to write it and speak it or say it to my friends, my family members, and you have that courage and confidence and fortitude. It's like you have the strength behind your word. You're standing for something. Most of us are like wishy-washy, and we're like, I don't really know what my purpose in life is. Your purpose is you're living. So live a full life, live the highest intelligence at any given moment in time. The end game is, geez, all it is love. Oh boy, because you can't take anything with you when you go to the other side on your way out. So it's, people will say, all I needed to focus on was love and light and be joyful and happy. Why did I wait? What was this all about? This scrambling and competing and defeating and distress and all the rest. So we don't have to wait till we're at that stage and age in our lives. We want to be experiencing, dropping all of that at any time and grabbing on to light and love, even if we are funky from moment to moment, or even if we've had the world's worst day or days. You just keep going, keep moving forward, because that is going to pass. It will pass. If you're going to stay funky, maybe you'll stay funky for some time until you get sick and tired of that. Yeah, or other people get sick and tired of hearing about your funky state. So practicing these teachings are going to keep us out of that quicksand, meaning it won't drag us down. So Johnny is saying here, as the ghee melts, the incense smoke riseth, so do Arul prayers go into the heavens, and the light of the lamps purify souls. Johnny, you're a poet. Awesome. Byerly is saying, I feel lighter, as if old unwanted energies have lifted. Okay, great. I think I've read that, but I like it. I'll read it again. Stephanie saying, happy, happy, happy. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for joining. It's great. Dubravka says, I feel sorrow. Sometimes we do. We feel that angst in the soul. We feel that emptiness or that pain at the level of the soul. This is what Arul will do. It will show us what is hidden inside of us, because it's a tremendous amount of light. So it will reveal the pain and the suffering that we're holding on to. So even if you do feel funky, or you're upset, or you're sad, or you're really distressed, you're deep, deep angst. I remember one time with Dr. Pillai, he gave out the Arul. He's given out this meditation and mantra for 25 years since I've been around. And I've been on a mystical, magical roller coaster ride with him and Arul consciousness. And one of the first times that he had given them the mantra practice, I was like, oh, we did this already. And he just really pushed it into us. And I felt like the suffering of the whole world was inside of me. And I was just like bawling my head off. I mean, my nose was running. I didn't have Kleenex. I wasn't prepared for this kind of meltdown right in front of him. And so later on, after the meditation, I was shaking. I was like, it was a mess. I was just like a hot mess. And so I was going to just go, like leave, like run as soon as he left the room where we were sitting and meditating. And so I was just about to get ready and leave and, go for a walk or do whatever I needed to do, and to just get rid of this deep, deep sadness and pain and suffering and crying and, So then he calls me, and I go, he's sent somebody to go and get me. And then he said, okay, go to his room, where he was having some lunch. And then he just said, what's wrong with you? And I said, I don't know, I'm just a basket case. I couldn't even speak correctly or incorrectly or anything. It was just so much deep pain and sadness, and I couldn't even express it. And then he just said, okay. And then he just did something to my chakras from the outside. He was sitting over there on a couch and having his lunch, and then I'm sitting, maybe 10 feet away, and he just put his hands, and all of a sudden I was uplifted. And so why I'm sharing that with you is that whatever we have absorbed, or whatever our thoughts are about the world, it is manifesting inside of us. Because as it is inside of us, so it shows up in our life. And it's not like I was thinking about the world or anything like that. I was just like, wow, I am starting to think about the world. So you may feel the suffering of the world. You may feel the sorrow of people, especially right now, because it is a time where we've just been given the heads up that, hey, COVID's not going away. And we're all going, oh man, not another year of this, and this is people who aren't on a spiritual path, and they don't know that they can feel joy and happiness. They don't know if they can cope up. So you might want to take a look around, Bravka, or anyone else, where you're feeling perhaps the sadness or the sorrow, that deep sense of longing to connect with the Arul consciousness, God or Goddess consciousness inside of you. And it could be the divine also saying, wow, I'm crying because you're finally connecting. So it can be a lot of different things, but hopefully this too shall pass, and it'll give you some insight on how to navigate moving forward. Don't worry, you're going to come out of it. You're going to be okay. I was a blubbering mess. I think you got the picture. So Isabella is saying, very peaceful feelings, saw 2 huge double light orbs in the ghee lamp in the middle, such a trip. Wow, cool. And that's what happens. Some people will be watching this, the recording, and they'll fast forward it to the meditation where it was just the lights were down, and then you could just see the altar, and you hear Dr. Pillai chanting, and then you can snap it intuitively, snapshot, take a picture of the setting, and maybe you'll see some images come into the light, into the lamps. And that's the divine getting in, because the ghee lamp attracts the divine. So Anna is saying here, peace, gratitude, thank you, Babaji, Suchi to everyone, blessings to everyone. And that's so beautiful when we can bless one another. How many times you go out and you say, God bless you, or bless you, just for any conversation, an ending to any conversation, or a beginning to any conversation. Do we do that? Not really. Try it. I say God bless to everybody, and they are getting used to it now. At first they were like giving me dirty looks and thinking, oh, what's going on with her? But now they just like, hey, yeah. And some of them do accidentally, I think. Anyways, it feels like it just falls out of their mouth now. So it's like, God bless. God blesses it. God's in everyone. So sometimes people just need a little encouragement to say it. You can. It's awesome. Yasmin is saying love and gratitude, Babaji, Swami Ramalingam, Arul, Shiva Shakti, awesome. Nandini is saying thank you, Babaji. It was a beautiful experience of white and orange light. Wow, Arul. Yasmin, thank you, dear Sutrita and dear Arul community. Yes, thanks to this community. Thanks for coming every day and filling yourself up, no matter how good or not so good you feel. It's awesome that you are participating. Sue is saying here, I have heat in my chest and back. Great. So explore these feelings, these sensations, and especially if you're journaling it, because then you can see where it started and you can see in your life how it's manifesting. So something is cooking. We need to have a lot of heat to cook something, to create something, to be inspired by something. Inspiration means that the spirit is moving in us, and the spirit is this tremendous light and love and super consciousness. It's like we're super people. So we want to feel that expansion, that heat, that spinning of the energy, because time just goes by, but the speed is what we want to feel. And so you can feel the heat burning the karma so that you can experience the miracles coming in. Johnny is saying here, whatever happened to the virtual pujas on Ashraved? I'm not really sure what you're referring to, but if you want to on Ashraved, send them an email, support@ashraved.com, and ask. Thanks, Johnny. Shilpa saying, thank you very much for the wonderful session. Oh, you're very welcome. I think we went through that. So let's see. Lots of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all. Lots of emojis. Love it. Lovely colors, rainbows, hearts, stars. Namaste. All right. So I think we've come to the bottom of our sharing. Froz is saying, I'm thankful to Babaji for blessing us with these meditations, to bringing distinctions into the surface, to discard what's not serving us and be authentic to our soul's cause. Beautiful. Dubrovka is saying, I've been here every day, but not yesterday. I don't know why. I have not got enough strength. I don't know. Now feel sad about my son and my relationships. Well, Dubrovka, again, please keep staying steady and keep asking this Arul consciousness. It's a healing energy. And 2020, in 2021, Dr. Pillai has said this healing energy is coming in. And that's what we want to do, is we want to walk hand in hand with God. So that there's a paid service as well that is 30 days with Dr. Pillai. teaching us how to walk with God. So check that out on Pillai Center as well. I think that Radha Pillai Center Practices posted the link there. Check it out. If you are feeling funky and sad again, it's something that we don't have control over in our lives just yet. However, if we fill ourselves up with this light, this love, we will have compassion for our family members. And then also, as they're going through, or you're going through your relationship challenges, remember that we asked for this karmic experience so that we would get on a spiritual path, and then we would say, okay, I can't do it. The divine must do it. It's not to say that anyone is going through harms and hurdles. We all do. And even the masters like Dr. Pillai, like Swami Ramalingam, they went through tremendous amount of pain and suffering. And they continue to, because they're absorbing all of that which is in the world. And especially with the students, because they're committed to our soul's evolution. So they're absorbing the energy, even though Swami Ramalingam is no more, he's inside of us. He left the earth plane and then awakened his consciousness so that any soul that comes in that is on a spiritual path and remembers, then they will wake that consciousness up. So it is the most compassionate, it is the most merciful. You will come out of your harms and hurdles. And don't worry if you miss 1 day or 2 days. You can always watch the recording and tap into that energy of that day and catch up. This is what technology is all about. It'll be there forever. So keep smiling. Repetition, repeating is how Babaji teaches us. I'll watch the videos over and over again. To my surprise, I learn something new each time. Exactly, because this is a really high intelligence. As I mentioned, Dr. Pillai has been teaching a rule for so long, and not just this lifetime, but many lifetimes, and we couldn't get it. It's so pumped with tremendous intelligence, and all of his teachings are, the mantras are, all of his words are filled with Vak, the word of like God in the Bible. The word is God. So let it be so. So he is here to show us the way. We got to just show up and do the thing. So repetition, that's a great message, Johnny. Much gratitude. Great. All right, so let's wrap it up. We have one more session tomorrow. Please check out the offerings for Srimurti Fire Lab and also Walk with God, if that's going to be your thing, that you are thinking, oh, I must do this. And then we will keep you updated for those people who are new, and those people who have been around for a while, you know, that we'll keep you on track here at Pillai Center. There's also the Holy Spirit teachings that are free. Dr. Pillai just did a free YouTube today, and people were sharing about their experiences with the anointment. So if you haven't been anointed, get in there. You got to register for free. And then once you do, you'll receive the links to go and watch the recordings and get that anointment of the Holy Spirit. It is free. So go do it. All right, it will fill you with joy, and among other things, you'll be feeling this knowingness. It won't even be like I'm hopeful. You'll just be like, I am so certain, but I'm not really certain why I'm certain, but I just know that everything is going to work out. So God bless you all. Lulu is saying, we feel so blessed with the rule, Babaji, Swami Ramalingam, Sutrita's teaching, and this great community. And it is fabulous. So with that, we'll close, and thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, keep practicing a rule. God bless you all. Namaste.